Hi everybody, long time no see. I know I'm bad. I got busy doing tumblers and I have not left a lot of room for dolls. Plus I wasn't sure how many people actually really wanted to know how to make these. But I figure I enjoy making them, so I'm just going to keep doing it. Today I'm going to be working on this little girl. She's very small. She's maybe 12 inches or so. Um, I will be going to Hearstfest in Hell, Michigan in September, and I'm donating this young lady to their auction. And I apologize, it's hot in here, I'm sweating. So I thought I would take you through all of the steps from cleaning her to at least getting the first layer of her skin texture done. I've done it before. You guys have probably seen it before, but I figured why not? I gotta do it. Might as well bring you with me, right? I don't know what her name is yet. She kind of looks like a Tammy to me. What do you think? If you can think of a good name, throw it for me in the comments, and that way I can start on her story. She's going in a coffin, so I'm thinking vampire, because, you know, that would be good, I think. She's got a good face for it. She's got really piercing eyes. I mean, doesn't she look creepy just on her own? Here's her hair. So, we'll see. All right, let me tip you down and see if I can get you to where you can see what I'm doing. Maybe. Okay. And it's daylight. I have no control over that light. Let me see if that works. Hopefully that's not bleeding out all over the thing. I'll pull her closer to me so that you can see what I'm doing. I'll reach for a paper towel here. I have her on a bed of paper towels, but I make a mess. And I have my favorite worn out, I mean, as you can see, it's worn out, scruffy brush. I have 91% alcohol put into a recycled bottle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump it on her. I did not remove her eyelashes even yet. She is filthy. And I'm just going to give her a quick alcohol bath. She's a really well-made doll. A really well-made doll. So she has that going for her. I don't even remember where I got her from. She was either at the resale shop, Goodwill, or my daughter's mother-in-law found her for me. My daughter's mother-in-law finds the best dolls to work with. She found one recently. It was a set. I'm dipping this in water, blotting it. She found one that was a set. She found two, a set. Like a brother and sister set, but the boy was missing an arm and a leg. And, you know, instantly my mind went to, oh my gosh, that's got to be a pirate. He's going to be a pirate with a peg leg and a hook hand. So I got started on that. And you guys, I'm not real concerned with getting all of the glue off of her head. I don't care. And I don't even care that, because this is also my Scumbly paintbrush for adding the skin texture. I'm not even concerned that it's leaving some blue behind, because I'm going to put more blue on her anyway. She's not going to be a terribly difficult doll. She's not going to be terribly difficult to do. So, I mean, I'm not going to be doing a whole heck of a lot to her. If I do make her a vampire, obviously, I'll give her just a hint of some teeth. Just a hint. Not anything, you know, whoa, she's a saber-tooth vampire. Nothing like that. But, yeah, the pirate doll, I started his peg leg and his hook. I think my hook is too small. I'll show you guys before I'm done. His peg leg is a dowel rod, because, you know, I don't have access to an actual peg leg. But I got to sand that down and work it, because right now it's just a straight flat peg leg. Okay, so she is good. I got something on her eyeball. Get that off. Ooh, this girl was dirty, dirty. She was even dirtier than I thought she was. I cannot see 2 feet in front of me, and my glasses need to be renewed. So I'm sitting here looking at her thinking, oh yeah, I'm done. She was good. No, she's still a little bit of a dirty birdie. Gosh, that reminds me of Kathy Bates in Misery. Don't be a dirty birdie. I love that movie. Of course, I love anything Stephen King, you know? He's a master. All right. I'm thinking that that's pretty good. Good enough for government work anyway. I am using watercolor pencils. These came from China. I ordered them off of, I think I got them off of Amazon. I might have gotten them off of Wish or AliExpress. I know I got them as a try these and let us know how you like them. So I didn't actually pay for them. But I love them. They're really good. I'm using blue. And when I do this, let me turn you so you can see. When I do this, what I do is I start at any end point. And you don't even have to start there. And then I just draw squiggles. Just a whole bunch of teensy weensy little squiggles. And in places where you know there's major veins, like the carotid artery, you know, is somewhere in this area. I mean, I'm not a medical expert, but I know where the carotid artery kind of is. You just kind of go in a little bit darker in that. And I'm going to run this vein. I don't even know if the carotid artery goes that high. I don't know. And I'm not that concerned about it, to be honest. But draw it in. And then I try to start and stop like on the side. If I can't, like if I stop there and pick up here, I'm not going to cry, but I kind of have a problem doing that. So, make sure you go even over the eyebrows, over the nose. I go over the lips. You know, just cover it. And it ain't got to be pretty. Mine are kind of jaggedy. They're kind of wobbly. I don't care. Don't even matter. And the stamp on the back of her neck, I'm not worried about that either. You might be interested to know that this mold is from 1991. So this makes our girl, well, old enough to drink anyway. I can't do the math in my head because math. I'm an artist. I don't do math. And then you also do each arm and each leg the same way. I will be back once I get those done because that's boring. You don't want to see that. Okay, back. Now, I also used gray and white. And now I have lost the gray color that I used. I just used light gray. And I used a white watercolor pencil as well. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to dip my brush in water, wipe it almost dry, and I also have a dirty, gross looking spritz bottle, but it's full of water. And I'm going to give her a spritz, and I'm going to let that sit for a second because water activates these. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to pounce. And you'll see that I colored around her eyes because I really want the blue color to be heavily around her eyes. And I colored a lot of gray on her face. mainly because in my mind, I have the TV version of vampires that are, well, they're, sickly gray looking. I apologize, you can't see exactly what I'm doing right now, but one of us needs to, and I think it's important if I can see what I'm doing. And if you'll see, I'm not pouncing until I blend it 100%. I'm leaving some of the pencil, the marks showing, because when it's all done and said, that ends up looking like veins under the skin. And with these pencils, if you don't like what you've got, you can always wash it off and restart. Now, I'm not saying they won't stain, because they absolutely will stain porcelain. And that's what this doll is. She's porcelain. But if you didn't like it, you can go back and lighten it up or darken it up. It's not a one and done kind of a thing. And this does take patience. It does take time. You have to resist the urge to go. When your brush stops working well for you, spritz it again with water or dip it in water like you've seen me do. But blot off the excess, because if you don't blot off the excess water, you're just going to have a drippy, runny mess. And that's not what you're going for. And once this is all done, you will have to seal it with, I use matte spray to seal it. Just Krylon, I think it's Krylon. Rust-Oleum, matte clear. Krylon would work. Tamara varnish would work. Anything you have on hand will work. These are not so precious that you have to go out and buy specific materials. I recommend a good quality artist material if you plan on keeping these for any length of time. Not everything is created equally. Some things are made to be archival and last a long time. And when I'm doing these dolls and I'm selling them to people, my intention is that they'll last, forever. It's up to you. If you're doing this just to fill in spots in your Halloween decorations and you don't worry that they'll last forever, go buy apple barrel paints for 50 cents a bottle and use those, and use Crayola markers. Those things are water, if you wet them down, they smear. Use some Crayola markers and do the same thing with Crayola markers. They will not last a long time. Even if you seal them, they will fade and they will not last. But if you're only using it for one season and you don't mind that it's not permanent, get on with your bad self. You do you. I don't judge. I would say not to use that if you were planning on selling them to somebody, because people who buy these definitely want them to last more than one season. But see our girl? She's looking pretty sickly, I think. Now see that eye right there? I didn't pounce that enough, so I'm going to go back in and I'm just going to work that a little bit more. And as you're pouncing, it blends a little bit, so it's not so harsh. So that's where we're at. The gray, I wasn't as careful with the gray as I was with the blue. I just kind of scribbled it on because I just wanted it for undercolor. I'm not looking for it to, the gray will not leave any like veining like the blue does, because the gray is so light that it basically only gives a tone effect. And she was a nice healthy pink doll, and let me scoot her back, and I needed to take some of that healthy pink glow away from her, and the best way I know how to do that is to add a little bit of gray when you're using these pencils. I mean, there's other ways to do it when you're using paint, but using these pencils, that's the best way I could think. So uh, that's basically how you do it. So I'm gonna stop you so that you don't have to sit and watch me pounce her arms and her legs. And by the way, I did do her legs. Her legs will not show when she's all done. She's wearing a cute little dress. She's got a little pair of pantaloons, socks, and shoes. So her legs don't show a single bit. And on some dolls, I would say her legs aren't going to show. I'm not going to go through the time and the effort to do it. But with the way that she looks, if somebody decides they want to take her shoes off, I don't know why anybody would, but supposing somebody does, at least then she won't be, you know, normal from the waist down. She'll be vampiric from the waist down as well as from the waist up. So that's my hope. Okay, so see that arm? See how I had created some veins? For is this light even helping? You guys, I'm terrible with light. There, maybe, yeah, no. Anyway, I created some veins on her arm, and it stayed after I pounced because I didn't blend it all completely in. So that's what we're going for, that kind of a look. And I'm working on a stack of paper towels so that as I'm pouncing, I'm not banging porcelain against my desk. And this brown thing is a non-stick Teflon sheet. So I put paint directly on this. I put glue directly on this. I love it. All right. So I will be right back once I get finished pouncing all of these, and we'll go from there. Okay. I finished pouncing on her, and I have taken her outside and give her a somewhat sloppy and in areas way too thick layer of matte spray, clear matte spray. So that part is done. The painting is not done, just that part of it is. So I rinse off my crappy brush, and I can put my pencils away because I'm pretty confident that I'm done with these. Why is getting the lid on so much harder than it should be? Okay. Now I have mixed up paints that are like dead flesh color and things like that. I have one that I labeled Drowned Base. It's kind of a greenish ick color, but it's airbrush paint and inks. So it is not as dense as it looks, but it does give that nice grayish color. You just gotta shake it really well. Okay. Put a little bit. Is it stuck? It's stuck. Let me pick a different one. Doggone it. I'll have to unstick that after. Let's see. Let's try this one. There we go. That works. This one is just called Dead Green, just because it's got like a greenish back cast to it. All right, now I am going to continue to use my crappy scruffy brush. Dip just the tip. I know, that's what she said. Wipe off some, and then start layering that on. And at the moment, I'm not worried about getting anything in her eyes or anything like that. I don't care because I can always go back and clean it up later. This is on the kind of the dark side. So I might end up having to lighten this up, but I like it for over where her cheeks are so rosy. I mean, I could put in the story that she just had a feeding. That's why she's so blushed with youth. But that's very light. Let me add some white to that. And for the white, I was going to use paint, but I changed my mind, and I'm just going to use Liquitex ink. This is Liquitex acrylic ink. These are about $6 a bottle if you don't buy it in a set. And a little goes a long way. I literally just put a drop out. And you can see that. I'm not going to mix the whole thing together. I'm going to pull that in like that and let it just kind of blend in so that I do still have some dark areas. Dab and blot. And go back to pouncing. That's much better. It gives the sickly look without being so dark. And now my mixture is more white than my paint because I'm dipping in here, which is the pool of white, and pulling it out that way, and it's got some of the other paint that had blended, so it's mostly white but not solid white. You don't want to use solid white. It'll end up looking like a clown. If that's what you're going for, then use solid white. But even then I wouldn't use solid white. I would tone it down just a little bit because solid white is way too stark. It is just like a in your face, woo, that's bright color. And I'm not being very careful about coverage. If I miss a spot, I'm not gonna lose no sleep over it. I'm just softening the paints, the pencils. And her hair is gonna cover up most of the stuff in the back, so I'm not too worried about that. I mainly want her rosy cheeks. We'll see, I forgot to dab that off and I got a little carried away. Pardon my melon, guys, but I got to get in here to see what I'm doing. You also want to make sure you get under her chin so that she doesn't end up with a foundation line, so to speak. Okay, a little bit up there. That looks pretty good. Same thing on her arms. And really, guys, the layering is what does it. The layering. The more layers you can create, the more realistic things will look. You have to be careful and let each layer dry, because if you don't, your next layer is going to pull up your previous layer. Ask me how I know. Of course, some of the best stuff I've gotten has been because I had to fix my own mistakes. You know, when that happens. I hate when that happens. But you learn a lot. Whoever said you learn more from their mistakes than you do your triumphs is spot on. At least I do. Alrighty. I've been saying for a year I need to get new glasses. And I do need to get new glasses, but I hate the thought of it. They're so expensive. All right, that's one arm done. And I'm going to turn her around so that you can see what I'm doing on the next arm. Sorry guys, I'm working in such a limited space. I'm trying to keep in mind that I got to keep her where you can see what I'm doing. But my desk is only 3 feet wide. So it makes it difficult. And once the sun goes down, it gets dark in here. That's kind of stupid. Once the sun goes down, it pretty much gets dark everywhere. But I'll need to add extra lights is what I'm saying. As it stands right now, the ceiling light is on and I have the light from the window. And lots of traffic noise. Alrighty. That is our girl done. Let me turn this light off. That's our girl done. She has a layer of the dead gray color over top of her blue. You can still see the blue. I didn't hide it. I'm going to throw some on her legs because I have some left on my palette. If I didn't have any left, I'd be like, her legs don't need it. She's fine. But when I put it on, you can see how stark it looks. But once you start blending it out, it blends right in and it looks just perfect. Gives that sallow, sickly look of a dead person. I hope any of you that are in Michigan can make it to Hearst Fest. That is a fun time. It's held on the same day every year in September, and it's in Hell, Michigan. And last year, I want to say they had over 90 hearses show up. I do not remember the exact count, but there was a ton of them. And they do an auction. I don't know the details of the auction, but I'm donating this doll in a small little coffin, toe pincher coffin, and I'm donating a pair of his and her tumblers with the Hearst Fest logo for whatever reason they do the auction for. I'm happy to help. And it's super fun time. I mean, you don't get that kind of crowd for just anything, you know. It's fun. All right, pardon me, I gotta move her leg out my way so that I can get, this is why I don't like doing legs. I can't get them out of my way. And I ran out of paint. And now because I started, I feel like I am obligated to finish her legs. So I'm just going to do a quickie bloop, bloop, bloop. Because like I said, her legs don't show. And I mean, I don't know why anybody would take her little outfit off of her to display her without it. But at least this way, there is the kind of imagination that she has something on her. Okay, cleaning my brush. I am going to take some sepia and go over the shadows a little bit. This is Golden Fluid Acrylics Sepia. It's brand new. I don't know if I have to. Yeah, I probably got to open it. Yes, they put a stopper thing on it. Bless them. Well. Alright. So we'll do this later then. I'm not going to fiddle with this. What I am going to do, what I am going to fiddle with is this is UV resin. It cures with a UV flashlight. Now this is supposed to be matte finish. I got all excited when I got this. It's not matte finish. Don't get excited. It's just same old gloss as everything else. I'm going to put a, can you see what I'm doing? I'm going to put a little dollop right there. And I am going to find somewhere to set that. There's my light for it. I am going to add a little bit of the white ink. And I mean the very barest little bit right next to it. See, that's one drop. That is way too much. When you're using resin, you don't want to mix it any more than 5% of your colorant to your resin. So I'm going to take a toothpick and I'm going to dip it in my white. And I literally just dipped it in the white. And I'm going to mix that into that resin and I'm going to make it milky looking. That's still not quite enough. Dip, mix. And then I'm going to take the same toothpick that now has a toothy looking color on it. And I'm hopefully going to make her some little teeth. I ain't making no promises though. Because, you know, crap happens. And I'm gonna heat that up and hold that there for just a couple minutes. Not even a couple minutes. Probably not even a full minute. Let's see. Yep, nicely cured. And now she has teeth. See that? Not the very best teeth, but once I get her lips painted, I think it'll look much better. And I'm going to wipe this up because I don't want to take any chances that I'm going to stick my arm in it. Because I'll stick my arm in it. A little bit of alcohol. Alcohol cleans everything almost. Perfect. Okay. Throw that away. Put that away. Make a mess. Make a mess. Alright, y'all. I am sweating like a sinner on Sunday. So I'm going to call it done for today. And let her get a good cure on that paint. Let it get good and dry. And once that's good and dry, I'm going to put another layer of the matte varnish. And then I will continue on. There's not a whole lot left. There's some, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint her lips. I'm going to deepen them up. The rest will have to wait till her outfit is done. I have to distress her outfit. We have to bloody her up a little bit. If she's going to be a vampire, she needs to have some blood. I might darken in her eyebrows a little bit because they look a little pale to me. But if I do that, I'll do that with the pencils. And I'm not going to make you guys watch that, but that's probably going to happen. So let me know if you can think of any names for her. I would appreciate it because, like I said, she kind of looks like a Tammy to me, but I don't know Ooh, look at my mess, y'all. Look at my mess. Um, if you can think of a name, throw it down there, and I will start thinking of a story for her. Take care, you all. Thanks for joining me. If you have anything that you'd like to see, any ideas that you'd like to see done, need to know how to do something specific, leave it in the comments below, and I am happy to give it my best. I ain't gonna promise, but I'll give it my best. All right. Bye-bye.